Okay, it's 1:01, so we are going to go ahead and kick it off. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Alexia Hasbrook, and I'm a digital marketing specialist here at iHire. I'd like to give you a warm welcome to today's webinar, How to Heat Up Your Job Search for Candidates This Summer. We're excited to share these tips on how you can find high-quality candidates even during the summertime lull. Just a couple housekeeping items before we get started. You may use the Q&A feature to ask questions as we go along, and Val will answer those questions at the end. For more generalized questions, you may see one of our panelists respond to you. Also, keep an eye on your inbox tomorrow for a recording of today's webinar. And as we know, summer is well underway, so before we get into today's session, let's take a quick poll. Okay, so we want to know, have you seen a dip in the number of candidates this summer? Perhaps some of you have seen an increase. Maybe things are staying about the same. Let us know. Going to give it about 10 more seconds to get everyone's answers in. All right, so interestingly, most of you answered that you've noticed a drop in the number of candidates. So this webinar is definitely for you. We are glad you're here today. Really, it's difficult to speculate what the rest of the summer has in store. Are we in the midst of this great resignation? Will we see an uptick in applications as additional federal unemployment benefits are discontinued? Either way, the strategies we'll share with you today will ensure that your talent pool is filled with quality applicants, regardless of the number of applications. So let's welcome today's presenter, Valerie Eden. Val used to be a recruiter and she's dedicated to the customer experience, so much so that she's now iHire's Director of Customer Success. Welcome, Val. What great stuff do you have for us today?
Thanks, Alexia. It is my pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited to talk about one of my favorite topics of recruiting and the people connection that goes with recruiting. So let's start out with one of the best parts about iHire. As our customer success team, I have the pleasure of working with not only these individuals that you see, but several others that are part of our 21 people customer success team. So on this team, we're both certified resume writers and analysts, and we're certified career advisors. We're also helping you, the employer, finding talent, posting jobs. So we're on both sides of the fence there. We do talk to job seekers every day, so we know what is most important to our candidates. So kicking it off, talking about the survey results that we've seen and really the state of the world today, just given the post-pandemic. Many people aren't ready to return to the office, but there are still ways to promote your job and get ready for attracting the right talent to your job. So one of the things that you can do here are to advertise, and offer remote work opportunities where they're possible, or possibly a hybrid work situation. And lastly, you can also use benefits that your company offers and for that position to really win this talent over, as they have many considerations when making this career decision. That will be important to them. There are a variety of reasons why they may not want to return to the office, ranging from childcare challenges to fears about being in large groups that they're just not ready yet. So you can target these folks by offering a few extra benefits that would help them to be comfortable and being flexible when it comes to home or hybrid options. And making sure that if that is an option for you, that it's posted very clearly in any of the communications that you're having with your pipeline. All right, and next we'll talk about the candidates that have been little less than responsive. So for this, there are reasons why that they might not be responsive. So the extended unemployment benefits are ending in September. And that will see, businesses will see soon that they might be more flooded with applicants as those states decide to not continue those benefits. But for now, we are still seeing some of the interview ghosting and a less either apply rate or people that apply and don't show up to the interview. So we understand. This does leave several jobs unfilled. The reason might be that the timing is not right for them, not only that they're just ghosting, but that they really are having some heavy consideration for the job. And we talk to our job seekers about that pretty much every day. Again, they're dealing with their own circumstances and reasons for not wanting to return to the office just yet. So, possibly you could consider a start date to see if there is flexibility at a time where maybe their childcare will be handled. Maybe they could work from home just in a limbo state just until they need to come to the office, and just really considering that candidate if they are qualified for your job and you do want them to be part of your team, staying flexible with their onboarding process. Lastly, you can send them a survey if you are not getting the response that you need or you want to increase your responsiveness with your candidates, inviting them to give you feedback about the process, the hiring process and the application process might help you understand or identify a problem with your candidate experience. Even the best of companies need to adjust hiring practices when the market changes. So you just might be experiencing something that you could tweak that would make a big difference in your hiring. It will give you valuable information. If you look at this survey results, you'll most likely find something that could be improved in your process. And you don't want to miss out on that because it might be preventing you from getting that perfect candidate. We do hear from our job seekers that the lack of response after they apply and the timing after they apply is pretty critical. They want to feel like they stood out and that they are important to the company they're applying for, so that mutual respect. So if you have a protocol possibly that when someone applies, they may not hear from you for 7 days. Consider inching that up to be like 2 to 3 days. This gets your level of engagement up, keeps them interested, and makes them feel valuable to you, which is ultimately what you want when hiring a new candidate. So let's talk a little bit about offering incentives. There's some flexibility in companies, and sometimes you don't. And we understand that. Sometimes it just requires digging a little deeper to see what incentives might move the needle for a candidate who's considering your company. You can talk about vacation time without accrual policies. So some job seekers might delay in accepting a position due to standing vacation plans. That's very common in the summer discussion point while recruiting. So offering a vacation or PTO just after hiring might entice them to take this position, knowing that they're not going to have to change a standing plan with their family or friends. Next, bonuses. That's always a very popular topic, and it really can make a difference to those that are achieving personalities to know that if they can work towards a goal that is potential higher than their salary, give them something to aim for, they're very intrigued by that. So it's a financial incentive that can help those job seekers make the decision to accept a new job and leave their current one, because that bonus just not only monetarily rewards them, but it appeals to other people that understand that their work is valued. Lastly, remote work opportunities. We touched on this before in the slide, but some people really have gotten accustomed to working remotely. They feel productive. They really feel more productive than others that feel in the office. This really varies by person, by department, by job. But if it works for the position, consider offering them the ability to continue working from home or only require them to come in a couple times a week, maybe for team meetings, for example, or something critical that you believe that the in-person collaboration is necessary. Ultimately, just staying open-minded to what someone can accomplish from home and being considerate of their mentality and perspective really helps that candidate to understand that the company cares about them as an individual. Networking. If you're having a hard time finding talent and you really want to expose yourself to the company and the jobs a bit more, consider social summer gatherings. Look around to see other places where people are gathering around the summer And if you don't see it in social gatherings, consider hosting one. It could be a great way to promote your business, get people back together, and then you would attract people that maybe if they're even your customer, they might also consider working for your company. This is a really great way to get people interested to work for you. Conversations with former coworkers and employees. If you reach out to a former coworker that you know had a great performance, or employees to see if they are looking for work or if they know someone that would be perfect for your position, this is a great way to get the word out. Word of mouth. People don't generally recommend others for jobs unless they believe in their performance and believe that they're great at what they do. So this is a special pocket of people that are the first that you think of when you think about a certain skill set or task in a job. It's the people that you would recommend as this is the professional in that arena. So definitely consider your peripheral view of people you've worked with before on projects. And then we have online groups. So if they will allow it, reach out to your online group, maybe a Facebook group, a LinkedIn group. If they have rules against it, consider joining other groups that are more employment focused. But these are pocketed all around on different sites. You can just Google it and see. And these are opportunities to find the people that are like-minded in the same arena that you're looking for, or company, same industry. Next, we want to develop a strategy to reach out to passive candidates. So passive candidate are someone who has potentially their resume is out there. They would consider a position, but they're not actively logging in every day, applying and searching for jobs. They're someone who is interested in moving up or moving out of their current role, but they are not putting as much energy into applying. So you want to start the conversation with passive candidates. Luckily, iHire has 5 really well-written email templates that can help you get started. And when Alexia sends this webinar out for you tomorrow, the link is right at the bottom. So feel free to take advantage of that. You want to discuss the growth plan at your company when you're talking to passive candidates. Likely they're in that mindset of growth, and this is the best way to reach them. If you think about not only the position that you're considering them for, but the natural growth or trajectory after that position, this is a winning conversation that really grabs attention. Lastly, wherever you can and as much as you can, stay competitive with your salary offering. We at iHire have salary tools that can help you with that, but definitely working with your human resources department to make sure that you're competitive with other roles, similar roles in your area. Because our job seekers are doing that. Candidates are advocating for what they believe the position pays. And so if you are competitive, that's a winning first foot in the door with that candidate. Next, you want to look at your pipeline. When it's time to have these conversations and the templates that we have created for you, it's time to see where can you start? Who can you start to message? A pipeline is or can be consist of previous applicants who have applied to your jobs. Maybe at the time that they applied, they were not the best choice for you. You chose someone else, but they did have some redeeming qualities or talent that you would be interested in the future. So when they apply for a job, you can kind of let them know that not at this time. And when you move them forward to your pipeline, it is time to look at that for future roles and to keep that pipeline nurtured and warm with opportunities in your company. So start there. You can also consider former employees. Maybe someone left to go gain a new skill or join a new company for a different adventure. But again, if they left and they were a high performer, welcome them back. And you never know unless you ask. Past colleagues that you've worked with, either at your current company or before, is a really great way to network. Using social media, sharing out that you're hiring with your company. When the employees at your company share that you're hiring, it is an automatic testimonial to job seekers that those that work there are encouraging others to work with them. It's very powerful, and we recommend that if you're hiring for a position, getting your colleagues to share that position is a winning strategy. Lastly, networking and career fairs. That is a long-standing way to get a volume of applicants and great applicants to your company. Formerly, they were in person. Lately, they've been virtual. I see a blend of those two coming back. So just find out the ones that are coming near you, around you, or where your company is, and join this career fair. consider not only being there, but sponsoring something and investing in exposure of your company and promotion of your company so that people see you first among the rest of the companies there. All right. Talking more about your pipeline and the way to utilize that. If the upcoming role fits that applicant's experience that once applied for a different role, you can use that and say, maybe when they applied, they had exactly what I needed and now they're a great fit. But potentially they were still lacking something. But as time has gone on, maybe they have learned that skill or become certified in some ways that you were looking for. So when you use your pipeline, you can go into the iHire profile and see if they've updated any of their recent skill sets. That will give you a head start. And if you don't see an apparent or obvious change in their skill set, you can message them and ask, since we last met, we've kept your resume up for consideration, and we're wondering if you would be interested in this position. It has the following requirements. Let me know if you're interested. And this is a great way before you even need to post another job or maybe simultaneously that you're casting a bit of a wide net. All right, so here's the pipeline strategy that we use here at iHire and we advocate for all of you to use. You want to create the ideal candidate persona to reach out for. If you know the role and you know both the soft and hard skills that it needs and technical abilities, definitely get that in the job ad and keep that at the top of your conversations. This way you'll find the best culture fit for your role and also one that's not only going to take the role as it is, but grow in that position. Strengthen your employer brand. There are lots of ways to do that. iHire specifically has two facets of a choice employer pledge that you can take, just 3 quick steps that really show our job seekers that you are committed to fair and modern hiring practices and a great candidate experience. Also, your company profile. This is one of my favorite features that we have today, and it allows you to represent the best parts of your company in regards to casual like photos of work gatherings, your mission statement, your vision, core values. You can add your benefits, any of the locations that you have, and even testimonials from existing workers. So the company profile is this one shot way for a job seeker to understand all of what is happening inside of your building. And it's linked right to the job ad. So if you don't have one yet, you can contact our client relationship team to build that. iHire does have a company profile, and we have, I've been part of our recruiting process lately and interviewing process, and every single person mentions some of the great assets of our profile, which is a video and other fun things. So it's definitely noticed. You can identify potential hires on your profile. They can express interest right there on the profile. And then you can create your plan to engage these candidates based on the fact that they have expressed interest in working for you and they viewed your profile. Now you can think about strategically what role would they fit and how would you approach your candidates. All right, so next you can track the candidates who might fit the different role, communicating with them in one place. iHire has a messaging tool where you can message all of the people that have applied to your job, any resumes that you have unlocked when you're finding your talent, and you can just go to one spot and see all of the current messages that you have sent to your applicants and also messages they have sent back. Today, these messages still appear in your mail server provider, but they're right here at iHire, which is just a very big convenient step. You can pick up right where you left off, share that message with someone else on your hiring team, and it's just a big efficiency, saving you a lot of time. Lastly, as we mentioned, we have templates that are used very frequently about our employers today, and these are great ways to engage your job seeker. We give you the running start about what you could say, and then you can customize it from there. The benefits of pipelining, as we've mentioned, are faster time to hire. It's a low cost. You're already dipping into the pool of applicants that have already expressed interest in your company. So it's quicker time to hire high quality hires, people that know that you are interested in them and vice versa. Quicker onboarding and relationship building. So when you have used your pipeline and continue to nurture these people, even if you're not hiring immediately, but if you think you have upcoming positions, you are relationship building from the very first interaction. And this is a very quick, efficient way to have a pool of people, if whether you have an immediate hire or just an upcoming hiring plan. There are many benefits of pipelining. All right, Alexia, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Val. Those were some really great insights that you shared today. I cannot thank you enough. So before we move into our Q&A session, let's do a quick recap. Remember to try and be flexible about work location. Some highly qualified candidates might not be ready to head back into the office, at least just yet. Also consider offering additional incentive. The right salary or benefits package might be all it takes to turn top candidates into employees. Also, network everywhere. Your friends and colleagues might be able to connect you with your next great hire. As Val said, you don't know who might be available to you until you ask. Also, remember to engage your passive candidates. Some folks might just be waiting for the right opportunity. And lastly, and most importantly, leverage your pipeline. You can find high quality hires at lower cost to your company and in less time by utilizing your pipeline. So let's jump into our Q&A session. I see we had a couple questions come through already, and there are some good ones here. So let's see. The biggest challenges we've seen have been around childcare. We're a small company and we can't afford to offer reimbursement. Do you have suggestions for other ways we can entice candidates whose decisions are hinged on childcare?
Such a great question, and I definitely understand that concern. If you don't have a stipend for childcare or the ability to offer such thing, if you do have the ability to allow flexible work environment from home, or to support them in the precise hours that they need childcare, that is helpful. Also, if there is, even if you just offer a daycare or childcare place that is close by, when you offer such a thing and you're aware of such a thing, it just shows a lot of compassion. So we understand that not everyone can offer childcare cost or even have a daycare in their building. That's not realistic. But even that you're cognizant of it shows a lot of compassion for your workers. So in summary, I would say flexible work environment when possible, offering a close by daycare showing that you care about such a topic also goes a long way.
That's a great answer, Val. Thank you. All right, next question we have is, we do virtual interviews right now on Zoom. 8 out of 10 agree to interview but don't show up on Zoom. Are there any suggestions that you have for that? That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. Yeah, that doesn't feel like a great feeling when you're so excited for the interview and then they don't show. I am a big fan of reminders. When my team have meetings with others and they really want to make sure that that person remembers the appointment, they're going to show up. We do reminders the day before, and we also consider reminders an hour before. And in the messaging of the reminder, we give them that ability to please let us know or reschedule the time. Since we instituted reminders, we get far less no-shows and far less amount of ghosting. So I would say reminders, and then if they don't let you know ahead of time, if afterwards, using a template to say, I'm sorry that I missed you, but if you are still interested in that person, let them know pretty much immediately that you want to reschedule.
Awesome. And for the next one, I'm excited to see what you have to say about this because Val, I know that you have some good ideas. So, any ideas on unique incentives that we can offer? We are currently offering front load vacation, bonuses, and flex work schedule.
Wow. Well, kudos to you for all of those benefits. And I think that those are great. I think the incentives just can vary by company or location. I'm a big fan of company happy hours that you really want to support collaboration, offering Snacks is a big win. That kind of wooed me over into iHire. So if you have a kitchen that's stocked for those that are in the office, that's great. If they are from home and if you have the budget, offering a work at home internet stipend is also great, and making sure they have all of the hardware they need to be successful, no matter whether they're inside the building or out. Small upgrades like that in their work environment and nutrition throughout the day are also just easy wins there.
Well, the snacks wooed me too, Val, so you are not alone there. And the next question that came through is, how do you find candidates for general warehouse effectively? I
Mm,
guess for a general warehouse effectively.
sure. Well, the first step I would say is talk to your client relationship manager. You should have an assigned win that shows right there on your dashboard. Talk to them about your job, what you're looking for, and making sure that all of the skills that are required for that job are very clearly stated and at the top of your job ad. If the job ad is succinct, but also has enough information, you should attract the right talent. We have a lot of options that we can help you with, which is what site to post it on, making sure it's got the right promotion and exposure, and then also just making sure your company profile is built so that they understand what your warehouse position is like compared to others. So, um, short answer, contact your client relationship manager. We have a lot of tools that can help you.
Yeah, those client relationship managers are phenomenal. So that's always a good place to start. All right. Can you speak to signing bonus incentives and splitting it up into two payments? I'm not sure I've heard of that before, but maybe you have, Val.
Yeah, thank you. I think that that is somewhat more of an HR topic that can allow people that are, onboarding and setting salaries and compensation. We do have such a service at iHire that we're launching where we can help you with that. So again, I would contact your client relationship manager if you're looking for some more HR tips that way, and we can connect you to our right person. As for my own experience, I really haven't been affiliated with the sign-on bonuses and decision making there.
Thank you for clarifying that one, Val. All right. Next one we have is, oh, we've got a lot of questions coming through. This is
Oh,
great.
great.
Yes. How can we leverage our long-term benefits, i.e. growth 401k, when most applicants are hyper-focused on the short term?
Mm, what a great question. Very intelligent. This is a really common conversation that I have with employers, and our whole team does. When something is so valuable as a 401k or an investing in that, you're looking out for not only the employees like status with your company, but for their future, it really does belong at the top. I think that the more value that you can explain succinctly of why that's important, the better off you are. There is an instant gratification happening in our world today, and there are a lot of flashy, snazzy things that you can offer. But when a company shows investment in the associates in training, in a growth plan, and in 401k, and offers these long term benefits, if you could break that out between immediate benefits and long term in your job ad, you're showing that you care and that they deserve that shout out or call out. That's my recommendation.
Lots of great advice you're handing out here today, Val. Let's see. Can you give a few examples on things we can do to really make our brand come through in our job ads? That's a really great question.
Absolutely, I can. Well, I'm here with a lot of marketing experts that are better than I am, but I'll go ahead and take a stab at it. That I would say, really making sure that your brand, what you believe your company is advertised in your job ad and in your company profile. This starts with, what is your logo, what is your objective and mission statement, and can grow into pictures of your team while they're working or while they're together in social aspects. It can talk about testimonials. And then one of the winning things that we've put together at iHire is a company video. And as I mentioned earlier, when I was interviewing candidates for an internal position, they all mentioned this video and said that it was so impressive and transparent, a way to see that what really happens inside of our building, not just like what they would see on like an ad. It was a very transparent, relaxed video, but very fun and incorporated our culture very well. So if you have that ability, I highly recommend it.
Okay. So it looks like, unfortunately, we are already at time for the day. If there are any questions that did not get answered, we will get that answer to you. Um, and Val, I just want to thank you again so much for your time. It was a wonderful session. And hopefully we will see you all at our next one. I hope you all have a great rest of the day.
Thank you all so much.
Bye.